Welcome to H2K Infosys. This class will describe about how to write scripting in Vugen. So in LoadRunner in Vuser scripts, we have to use C programming. Of course, there is a latest protocol, Ajax True Client protocol. You can also use JavaScript, but most of the time you are using C programming techniques in Vugen script. So in to use any variables, we need to declare data type. To validate the data or to store some values, we need to declare some variables. So variables means a temporary memory location. Variable means it is a temporary memory location to store values. Let's say today here I'm giving an example to print some random numbers, and also I want to concatenate string to a number. I generate a random number, and also that random number I want to concatenate with a string. Okay, so that is what I want to do in this scripting example. So as you guys know, to handle some values, we need to declare variables. Variable is a temporary memory location to store values. To identify a specific value in LoadRunner or in any programming language, we have to declare a data type. We have to identify the data type. Data type means to store integer variables, we have to use int. To store floating values, you have to use float. To store characters or string values, you need to declare char. Or you can also use a double for the floating variables, like if you want to, let's say 13 dot some numbers, right? Then in this case you can use a double data type to store this kind of variables values. Okay, so here, as I said, I'm going to display some random number, also concatenate the random number with some string like this. Okay, so I'm declaring a variable integer variable name is int result. Int result is a variable name. You can give XYZ, you can give H2K, anything, doesn't matter. Variable name is your choice, but data type we have to use the predefined thing. So here I want to store a integer value which does not contain any decimals. Okay, no decimals. So int variable name is integer result. By default I'm just assigning 1. You can also declare simply int H2K test semicolon, right? That is also you can do. Int my test1 equal to 4. You can give some default number, or you can give just you can declare without any default number. Okay, so I'm just assigning some number 1 and another variable called int random equal to 0. I separated with comma, so I can declare multiple names with the int data type. At the end of the sentence, we have to terminate the semicolon. Each line should terminate with end of the semicolon. See, like this. So that is the C syntax. Okay. Next, I want to store some characters in a variable str random. Why I am using str is it is a string variable. That's why I wanted to identify with the specific name. So naming conventions are important. So while I'm just let me type here some information. While declaring variables, naming conventions are very important. That's why I use the proper variable names. I can use some H2K Infosys or some ABC XYZ, but that is not meaningful. That is why I am declaring a proper variable names here. Okay, so str random, and this is an array. Array means we can store certain size of number of characters. I can store 10 characters. Of course, usually we use 9 characters, and the last character will be null value. So that is how I declare a variable for strings. Okay, so here str random I want to store 9 characters. str display name, I want to store maximum 50 characters or 49 characters. Okay, and so another variable called iter, iter, and the iteration, I want to iterate through multiple number of times. That's why I declare another variable called iter with integer. So I start with 0. Even you don't have to, you can declare like this. If you don't assign a default value, by default it will assign some garbage value. Okay, so now I am writing a for loop. For loop is kind of like this, for. So I just press a for space bar, it will come with like this, with parentheses and curly braces close like this. So you can always use, let's say, iter equal to, start with, maybe I want to start with 5 semicolon, iter less than or equal to 10 semicolon, iter plus plus. Plus plus means iter equal to iter plus 1. You can also give iter equal to iter plus 1. That means each time it will increase one value. In C++ or C programming, if you use plus plus means iter equal to iter plus 1. That is the meaning of this plus plus means increment by 1. Okay, that is about for loop. So you can whatever the statements you wrote within the for loop, it will execute these these values for 20 times. If I give the condition is less than or equal to 20, so it will print if it execute all these statements for 20 times. Okay, so here for iter equal to 1, starting the value I am starting with 1, iter less than or equal to 20. So that means execute this statement for 20 times. But how to increase? Like iter plus plus means I am increasing the value one by one. So it goes 20 times. Because when it comes to iter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so until this condition is meeting, it will execute these statements. So here next I am using this variable I declared here int random number equal to rand. Rand is a function. There is a predefined function rand. I am just selecting this function and press F1. You can see the help to get more detail about what is rand. So gets a random integer between 0 and rand max. So example, if you see the example, see rand percentage by 10 means it's basically it will give the if you give percentage by 10, it will print R now is a number between 0 9. So between 0 to 9 it will give some number. Randomly it will generate a number between 0 to 9999 and store into this value. So when I execute this number, this statement, if I execute this statement, this random function will generate any number randomly between 0 to 9999 and store into this value. So equal to is assignment operator. We assign this output of this statement to this variable. And sprintf is to store that number into a string variable. See, this is a string variable. I am storing the output. I am storing this output to a string variable. I will go more detail why I am storing this in the string variable, because I wanted to concatenate this value to another string. So when I want to concatenate two strings, I need to have this variable should be a string. That's why I am storing this output from integer variable to a string variable. This is a string variable. See, this is a string variable. So the reason I am doing is I want to concatenate one number to a string, but a string concatenate function accepts only strings, not number variables. That's why I am storing this output of the integer variable to a string variable. But sprintf function takes 3 arguments. Sprintf function takes 3 arguments. So from this take the value from this int random number which is generated here and store into this variable, the string variable. But why I am using %d in C programming or C++, to read the values from integers we have to use D. To read the values from characters we have to use C. So there are some certain syntax you need to follow to read the values from specific type of variables. So here I am reading the variables from integer data type. That's why I am using %d to read the values from this variable and store into this string variable. Okay. Now strcat. If you observe this strcat string, I am again strcat is a string concatenation. Strcat is a function to concatenate two strings. Okay. Right now strrandnum, if you see this strrandnum has the randomly generated number. strrandom already has a randomly generated number, some 1 2 3 4 some number between 0 to 9000. But I want to add some more values on top of the randomly generated number. I want to add 3 zeros after the random number. So I am concatenating a string to the existing string. That's why it is like this. For example, I want to give one more thing. Let's say strcat, right? So if you see like strcar2 char from, right? So test one or let me give you some h2k, come on, Infosys. Right? So if you print this variable like h2, now h2k and Infosys will combinedly together we will have variable value. So we are concatenating two strings. So output will be h2k Infosys. But I want to give a real example here. I have a variable value in this variable. This is a variable, not the regular string. Okay, this variable has some value generated here. I want to append 3 zeros at the end to the number. Okay, after I print, you will see the values, so we'll get more idea. Okay, now LR save string. So why I am using this LR save string is I want to store into a parameter so that I can use in future if I want to pass this parameter to any other statements. That's why I am storing this output to a parameter called strrandnum. Okay, so LR save string and output of the from strrandnum I am storing into a parameter. Now I am printing this value. Now we will get an idea about how it is generated. LR output message is another function to print the values, to print the output to a screen like this. Okay, print the output on the screen. So LR output message function. If you want to see, select that and press F1. See, sends a message to log files, output windows and other report summaries. So that is the LR output message function details. Okay. You can always visit help to get more idea about each function. Okay, now randomly generated entity ID or randomly generated number is percentage s. Why I am using percentage s? It is a string. It is not one character, right? If it is one character, I can put C. If it is more than one character, if it is a string, I have to print percentage s. I have to use percentage s. Okay. Now LR eval string. LR eval string will print the value from the parameter. You can also do something to make a little bit easy. You can also do something like this. Let me comment this line. This is the value here, right? You can always print like this. But this function is a little tricky. That's why we have to use a kind of thing. Maybe I can, let me comment this. I am commenting with single quotes. Sorry, double forward slashes. So let me run this script. So somewhere I missed the double quotes. Here. I think I don't need this double quotes. Okay. So these are the errors while you fixing. Now there is something 25. I missed brackets. So I'm using some extra bracket here. So I'm using extra bracket, that's why it's throwing error message. See, it's printed str random. It's actually generated random number is 11137. Sorry, 1137 is the number actually generated. But what I did, I added 3 zeros. That's why you see 3 zeros here. Right? So you printed almost 20 different random numbers here. See the output here. Okay. So I will explain about why I am using maybe in future next video, because it may be easy for you to understand without why I am LR eval string. Okay. So that is how. Let me recap everything quickly. I declare the variables with the data types, integer, char, or different data types with the different variable names, and for loop to print the 20 random numbers. I want to print 20 random numbers. So for each random number I want to append 3 zeros. Okay, and allow eval string I am storing here, but for now let's not worry about this. Let's comment that. So I'm just printing this. Okay, so I just appended and printing this random number. That's it. It's very simple. Okay, so that is how it is. Okay, folks, I will go ahead and give you some more tutorials as soon as possible. So please watch all the videos. Okay, thank you, folks, and have a good one.